Chambers. It is now 7:38. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President.
I can't hear him.
Because he's not talking, and you need to
Oh,
mute the phone, or Jason, can you mute Trustee until it's time for her to speak?
I can, Mayor.
I got disconnected. I'm back, Madam President. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Trustee Abraham,
Here.
Trustee Senior,
Here.
Thompson,
Here.
Armour, Trustee Armour,
I'm here.
Trustee Tamalave is absent, and Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, we now have a quorum.
Thank you.
Stand for repeated and acknowledge the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
and we all have a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Madam President, now we will move to item 2, public comments. I have received no public comment through email for the clerk's office by 6:30 p.m. And I don't believe there's anyone in the chambers for public comments. Am I correct, Administrator Jones?
Yes, sir. There's no one here.
Thank you, ma'am. So we will move to item 3, communications. I have none on my desk. Madam President, did you have any communications?
I don't.
Okay. Moving on to item 4, consideration to approve the following minutes. Minutes from the November 15th, 2021 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Trustee Armour, seconded by, Armour, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President?
Thank you. I think is Trustee Chalmalabi, are you with 1966, the last 4 digits?
I am. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
late. I logged on at 7:41.
Thank
Well,
you, Madam President, and Trustee Chalmalabi. Let the record reflect that Trustee Chalmalabi is now in the meeting at 7:41 p.m. Madam President?
Thank you. So now we're on the minutes for approval. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments?
No, none.
Trustee Senior,
No questions.
Trustee Armour,
I had questions, but they're all answered. No questions, no comments.
thank you. Trustee Chalmalave,
No comment.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes. Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Yes.
Chalmalabi,
Yes.
and Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you all. Next item. Item 5, consideration to approve expenditure, grand total of all funds, $1,364,346.03.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Senior. Madam President?
That was Trustee Armour.
No, that was Trustee Senior.
Thank you, Trustee Abraham on the Finance Committee. Will you please read the warrant list?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Everybody can hear me, right?
Yep.
All right. First vendor, 48 barriers, $3,875. Air One Equipment Incorporated, $5,995. AT&T, $18,454.94. Barco Products Company, $2,763.30. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $154,481.18. Core Pro Companies Incorporated, $9,950. David Ornsby Incorporated, $3,000. Delgado Law Group LLC, $17,103.75. Geno's Heating and Plumbing Incorporated, $60,783.50. Groot Incorporated, $12,101.94. Health Endeavors SC, $2,615. Illinois County Risk Management Trust, $370,576. Lincoln National Life Insurance, $6,965.40. Lindhall Brothers Incorporated, $39,107.61. Mid-American Water, $4,906.95. Public Safety Direct Incorporated, $5,538.94. Ray O'Haran Company Incorporated, $3,463.43. South Central Capital Group LLC, $12,750. Target Solution Learning LLC, $2,641. Tripe Construction Incorporated, $2,665. Utility Service Company Incorporated, $575,343. West Cook County Solid Waste Agency, $15,094.43. Our total expenditures over 2,500 is $1,330,175.37. Our total expenditures is $1,364,346.03. Percentage of totals 97%. For our electronic payment vendor, Trace credit card payments reflecting as of 10/25/21, that's in the amount of $4,522.84. To the funds, general fund, $638,163.13. Garbage fund, $27,196.37. Roosevelt Road Tip Fund, $45,745.91. Capital Projects Fund, $536.25. Our Water and Sewage Fund is $652,704.37. Our grand total is $1,364,346.03. That's the end of my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, trustee Abraham. Do you have any questions or comments about the bills?
No, none at all.
Trustee Senior,
No, no questions.
trustee Armour?
No questions.
Thank you, trustee Chalmalabi.
No question.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
trustee Senior,
Yes.
trustee Armour,
Yes.
trustee Tamalave,
Yes.
and trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0 to pay the bills. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next, item 6, presentation, we have none. Item 7, old business, we have none. Item 8, new business. A motion to authorize the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners to promote Sergeant David Irkovic to the rank of Lieutenant for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois Police Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Chief Mills. you
Okay.
want to Tell us about the promotion?
Yes, so
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. So yes, on October 21st, retired Lieutenant Bartoletti submitted his retirement letter, and after serving the village for over 27 years, with effective date of November 19th. On November 19th, he graciously bid his farewell and is doing great things in retirement, leaving a vacancy for Sergeant David Irkovic, who was next in line off the lieutenant's list to be promoted and fill the role of operations lieutenant. With this promotion, that actually exhausts our current lieutenants list. I'm very happy to say that all of our lieutenants that was on the list have been promoted and moved up, which is, I think, a great accomplishment for the Village of Broadview. So eventually we'll be having to give another lieutenant's test, but I do believe that Sergeant David Irkovic would do a phenomenal job under the leadership of Deputy Chief Pierre Smith, working in a team with our village board of trustees and elected officials, as well as myself, and I'm looking for great things out of him.
Thank you, Chief Mills. Trustee Abraham? Any
No
questions?
no questions, but congratulations to our Sergeant Yorkovich. Well done.
Thank you, Trustee Senior.
No questions, but also congratulations.
Thank you, Trustee Armour.
No questions, but I do want to congratulate Sergeant Yurkovich.
Thank you, Trustee Chalmalave.
Congratulations. And no, I have no questions.
Thank you, and I want to say congratulations, Sergeant Yurkovich, on your promotion. Is well deserving, and we're looking for great things in this leadership team that's moving forward, the village forward, in the police department. And I think the team that the chief have put together with you being on board in the command staff is going to be a great access. So we're looking for greatness out of you. So congratulations. And just remember, on December 20th, we'll officially swear you in at the next village board meeting, okay? So is there anything you want to add to the comments before we do a roll call, Sergeant?
I'm sorry, Mayor. I'm trying to figure out my phone, but I appreciate all the accolades, and I'll be willing to work with you every step of the way. So I appreciate the next step in my career.
Very
Thank you.
good. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
We sure can, Madam President. Congratulations, sir. Roll call, Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
and Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, this carries 4-0. Thank you.
Congratulations, Lieutenant. We don't have to call you Sergeant now.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Clerk.
All right, next on the list is item B, a resolution authorizing and approving an amendment of a contract with the Department of Veterans Affairs for the Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so I did hear a tie between Trustee Senior and Abraham for the motion, so we're gonna say Trustee Abraham for the motion, Trustee Armour for the second. Madam President.
Thank you. Chief Keeney, you want to tell us about the amendment to the VA?
Yes, this is just like the others we've seen before, except the VA does require all contracts to be vaccinated. The fire department's 100% vaccinated, and we are in compliance with this. And as the contract, they just put the addendum on our past contract. Again, this will be coming up in the next, I believe in the next month. We may be renewing the contract or bidding again, but I just want to make sure that we got this into the past contract.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Armour?
I don't have any questions, but I really was happy that, we got the COVID-19 protocols in place for the VA.
Thank you.
So good job.
Thank you. Trustee Chalmalave?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Aye.
Trustee Chalmalave,
Yes.
and Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President. Thank you all. Next, item C. Ordinance for the levy of taxes for fiscal year 2021 for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Armour or Trustee Senior.
Trustee Senior.
All right. Madam President.
Thank you. So we had got an email from Trustee Armour with a list of questions, and I asked the finance director to address those questions in our public board meeting, because I know it's an educational opportunity for not only herself, but for Trustee Chalmalave, and maybe a refresher for the other trustees on the board. So Director Hicks, the questions that Trustee Armour had asked, can you address those questions, please?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me fairly well.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thanks. So the first question was, why was there a difference between the preliminary estimate and this final tax levy that's before you today? The major reason is the preliminary estimate, we just had an estimate for a higher and police amount, and the final levy actually has the amount.
Director Hicks, hold on a second. Trustee Armour, please mute your phone. Thank you.
That's *6, right?
Or it's a mute button on the thing. It should be like a phone with the to silence.
Let's see. Let me see.
Because we're getting a lot of feedback from you. Okay.
Okay. All right. So with the preliminary, we just use the prior year and go up by the rate of inflation. But once we get the final numbers from the actuary, those are the numbers that they provide a report to the village for us, the amount that we should levy based upon the actuary report. So once the difference for the final levy amount is the difference between the amounts that were estimated in the preliminary levy and the amounts that we got from the actuary, which were significantly higher. So one of the reasons that you have a higher funding requirement for the pensions is they have their funding levels are a little lower. You have reduced number of folks that are paying into the pension, which require a bigger payment amount. The second question was, is this proposed levy, is it in addition to the Cook County property taxes? This is what Cook County will levy as a property tax for the village of Broadview. The next question regarding talking about a tax cap for the levy. The levy is capped based upon the EAV, which is the equalized assessed value of all the homes and businesses in the village. And that amount, so the village can only levy a percentage of whatever that EAV amount is. And so that's the cap. So you can't go over that amount. So that amount changes year over year, depending on the assessed values of the homes in the village of Broadview. The fourth question talked about the limited bonds. That's our rollover bonds. That's what we do every year. Those bonds are we issue a bond to pay off the previous year's bond, and then issue bonds in the current fiscal year, and use those proceeds for various things that were budgeted for. Similar, you asked about the debt service and the subject to extension limits. It's the same concept. There's a certain percentage that we can, as a village, can take out in terms of debt. And so anything that we levy will be subject to that limit. And the sixth is talking about the fire pension, the protection agency, that contribution of like 31,000. That's different from the pension contribution. The pension contribution is for our village firefighters, and what we're paying in for our, and the contribution is for into it's this fire district. So all of the fire districts in Illinois pay into this for it's for municipalities and that may not have a fire district, or if they run short, they'll pull from this contribution that comes from everyone. And I believe that's the end of the questions.
Thank you, Director Hicks. Trustee Abraham, you have any questions or comments?
No, none.
Thank you. Trustee Senior?
No questions or comments.
Thank you. Trustee Armour? Trustee Armour?
She probably don't know how to take it off from mute. Okay.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
We can.
Okay. Yeah, I was on mute. Okay, so Director, I still have a couple of questions. Like for question one, I thought you said the rate of inflation is from the actuarial. What is the percentage? What is the percentage of the rate?
No, so what I said was in our estimate, we used the rate CPI, so the Consumer Price Index, what that rate of inflation was from the previous levy for 2000, and so that's
for
what
2000.
Yeah, so when we're using the estimate, we just use that that rate of inflation times what the levy was in the previous year. So what we get from the actuary is what the actuary has done a study on for both pension plans to say this is what we recommend that the Village of Broadview levy as the pension required contribution, which is called our annual required contribution for.
Yeah, but we're talking about tax now, not pensions.
We levy for.
Hold on, Trustee Armour, please let him finish and don't interrupt. Only because he's trying to educate not only you but Trustee Malabi, because this is new to both of you all. And we're talking about the tax levy. And when we talk about the tax levy, and maybe we need to do a one-on-one training so that we don't hold up this board meeting explaining that process to you or Trustee Malabi. But I really want you all to understand what the tax levy is. And the tax levy is based pretty much off of our fire and police pensions, because we have to levy that. And every year we get these actuary reports that give us those dollars amount so that we know what to levy for.
Yeah, so I hope, do you understand that? Like, we levy for the contributions that the village is going to make to the police and fire pension funds. That's a part of the levy.
Okay. Yeah, but I understood what you guys said, and you said it's based on history, like prior year numbers,
the estimate is based on prior year. So we just put forth in our estimate is just a simple estimate, and that's all it is until we get the exact number from the actuary. That's what their job is, because that's, they put forth those reports for the pension funds to say this is what to have a viable fund. This is what you guys should levy in taxes as a contribution for the pension for the police and fire.
Okay, I understood that. It was such a huge difference. It's like $1 million just about that was different. And that was the reason why, I am asking these questions. And it's not just a levy for the village. It's also levying the residents and the businesses within Broadview. And myself as a taxpaying person and everybody else. And so when I saw that, that really made me feel a little, I was just like, okay, let me ask a question. So thank you for that. And then my next question is pertaining to item number 3. And so what is the percentage? What percentage is the village levying or proposing to levy? I know there's a tax cap. What is that tax cap? And then what percentage within that cap are we proposing to levy?
Well, you can't levy over 5% from the previous levy. So our levy increase from the prior fiscal year, prior levy is about a little over 4%. So under what that cap would be.
So hold on, Trustee Armour. Attorney Vassalli, you want to jump in on this one as it relates to the percentage and the caps?
Mayor, my internet went out. Do you want me to jump in?
Yeah, can you?
Of course. So if you remember, trustees, we at the last board meeting or 2 board meetings ago, I forget, but we passed an estimate of levy. That was to make a determination that we do not levy over 105% of last year's levy. Otherwise, a different statutory scheme comes into effect. Like the mayor said, much of our levy is chewed up essentially because of our pension obligations. And like Director Hicks said, we get that information from an outside source, an outside vendor, an auditor. So this information that we did at the prior meeting was to create the estimate. As additional information comes in, we supplement it, but we still have a levy that I believe is approximately 104.2% of last year's levy, which is under the 105% of last year of the tax cap to trigger a different set of disclosures for the businesses and the public that you reference. So as I see it, everything here is in compliance with law under PTEL and the other regulations that are appropriate for this.
Okay, thanks for that explanation. Okay, so what type of, I'm going to number 4. What type of bond is this, the rollover bonds? Is it a general bond or is it a revenue bond?
It's a general bond.
Okay, and there's a difference between the two. Can you help me understand the difference between a general bond and a revenue bond?
Hold on a second. So before we are talking about the tax levy for this. Hold on, Trustee Armour. I am speaking, please. If you need additional training on what all of this stuff means, I would recommend that you make an appointment with the finance team and not hold us up in a business meeting to get so that you understand what's taking place on things that you need to vote on. Because you're holding up a board meeting on a training issue, and this is something that you could be trained on to get a better understanding. So if you're if you're not being specific to the tax levy that's before you and wanting us to educate you now, that's just inappropriate.
With all due respect, Mayor, the tax levy and these rollover bonds is, from what I just understood, it all correlates. Am I not right?
Well, we levy for the bonds, but what you're asking is 2 different questions. So we levy for the bonds. Please let me finish. I have the floor. We levy for the bonds, but what you're asking is for a description of the 2 different bonds that you have before you. And we're talking about a tax levy that you don't understand.
Okay, so can I finish my question?
Yes, but this will be your last question.
Oh, no, I have another question. I have a couple of more questions. This is my time, and no one has addressed this until right now. So I'd appreciate it very much if we can take the time to help me to understand. If I'm supposed to vote on this, I have to have understanding, and I don't, I'm not holding up anything. This is the last item that we need to talk about. And unless somebody else, I will allow somebody else, but these are questions that I have in order for me to make an intelligent decision. So that's why I wanted to ask, are these general bonds or are these revenue bonds? Because it's a different way in which we have to repay on general bonds and if they're revenue bonds. That's the reason why I was asking the question.
So for the sake of the matter, the bonds pay themselves off, right? Because they're rollover bonds. So and we don't. So the difference between a general bond and a revenue bond is a general bond is you're saying that you're going to pay that from your general fund. You don't tie any specific source to how you're going to pay that bond off. Now, this is specifically stated that they're rollover bonds, which means that we're going to issue bonds next year to pay off the bonds that we issue this year. So let me finish. So a revenue bond is specifically tied to a source of revenue. So it could be sales tax revenue, it could be property tax revenue, it could be license and fees, it could be, and you have to state specifically what revenues that you're tying to the payment of those bonds. So this is not a revenue bond. It falls under a general bond but the caveat and why it's spelled out as a revenue bond is that we do not use any general fund revenue source to pay off these bonds because we issue bonds again in the subsequent year to pay off the bond that has been issued in the previous year, henceforth the name rollover. So we keep rolling this over. So we get the funds, we use them in that particular year, and then we use them in that particular year, and then when the next fiscal year we issue bonds to pay off the bonds that we previously issued and use those proceeds in the next fiscal year. So that's how the rollover bond works.
Okay, so that's it, and I understood what you said. That means that this general bond is going to get paid before we pay our utility bills, right? They get we have to pay it back, period, within that year.
No, so you missed it. So we're going to issue bonds again to pay off the bonds that were previously issued. So there's no funds that are going to be used to pay the bonds because they're 1 year bonds. So we get the proceeds, we use them during the fiscal year, and then the next fiscal year, we issue bonds again to pay off the previous year's bonds.
Okay, what is the rate on the bond, on this general bond? The payback rate?
The payback rate? There is no payback rate.
Why? Because it's intergovernmental?
We issue bonds to pay off the other bonds. And that's why it's called rollover bonds. So we don't make any payments. We pay off the full. Now they're issued at a certain rate of interest because you have to incentivize investors to buy the bonds. They have to be issued at market rate, whatever the market rate is. And I'm not sure offhand what the rate of the bonds is. But again, there's no revenue that is taken from the village to pay for the bonds. We issue bonds again to pay off the previous bonds that were issued. And that's why they're called rollover bonds, because you keep rolling it over.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's, I'll meditate on that. And if I have any additional questions, I'll ask you regarding the rollover bonds. And can you explain debt service levy?
I can explain that. That is a mechanism that is separate from this whole process. It's not really relevant to this process. So some of our levies go into the 105%, but the debt service levy is separate from this process. So it's really not relevant to this in a way. But I think we've covered some of this. Director, do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree. And just like I mentioned previously, is that it also is subject to a limit. So and that limit is based on, a calculation of multiple things that we don't not get into. So we can't levy, willy-nilly any amount that we want, but it's not subject to the 105% of the previous year's levy. So, but it is subject to a limit.
Okay. All right. I have to meditate on that as well. But my next question is, I'm going back to the tax levy. And so can you tell me, and I didn't get it before because I wasn't, how this is a tax that, if adopted, will be over and above the property tax. Let me finish my question.
I'm stopping you because you're going down the wrong path, and I mentioned this before. This is the Cook County property tax levy. This is not in addition to. This is what Cook County would levy as a tax for the village of Broadview.
Oh, okay. And so what percentage is that going to, I know it's based on individual assessed value. I understand that. But you got to have some kind of percentage.
Percentage of what?
Like, is it going to be like an assessed value percentage across the board, or it varies from the assessed value? So, can you give it an idea of the how much rate percentage-wise is going to be?
No.
That rate is go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, I can't make that estimate of what the percentage is because it is going to vary. It's not going to be the same, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know what the assessed value is at this point.
Okay. All right. And I heard you say something before regarding number 6, regarding the fire pension PA and how it relates to the fire pension above it.
It doesn't
fire
relate to
pensions, but I'm sorry, I missed it. So can you explain that again?
Yeah, so that is a contribution that is assessed by all fire districts throughout the state of Illinois. It's basically a catch-all for all other fire districts. So if there's a fire, and Attorney Baselli, this is my understanding of it. It's a contribution that all fire districts make as a pension contribution that would help out other fire districts or municipalities that doesn't have a fire district as an agency that those municipalities or fire districts can tap into.
I have no objection to that.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's the fire pension PA and 93?
That stands for Public Act. It's a law that put into effect.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
That's the law that it's a citation to the law that put it into effect. So every law is a PA Public Act.
Got that. Okay, great. And then, and I believe, let's see. Okay. I think I have answers to my questions enough to continue to, meditate and understand all of this. So I really appreciate you gentlemen's time. And if I have a question, I want you guys to know I am not a yes person. I am going to ask the questions before I make a vote. That's how I'm able to sleep at night. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. You don't need to be a yes person. Just ask any question that you want. But, I think the other thing is, like I mentioned, is we probably need to go through some education so that we get everyone up to speed.
Absolutely, I agree.
Thank you, Trustee Chalmalave.
Sorry, I was unmuting myself. I'm sorry. Mayor, what was your question for me?
You have any questions or comments about the tax levy?
I'm not going to ask any questions at this time. My comment is that I would ask that I'm going to take the suggestion you made and ask that the finance director perhaps schedule some time with me to go over this, to have a deeper understanding, so that then I can ask, have a more, a better understanding of all this, and then ask the questions, hopefully have my answers prior to the board meeting. I don't know if Trustee Armour did try to get these answers beforehand or not. I'm not sure, but I would like to have this type of information perhaps at a meeting in an office so that I can understand it. Because right now, this was not, because I'm on a phone and I don't have, I have some internet issues as well. It's not very productive for me to learn it this way.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Sure can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Farmer,
No.
Trustee Chalmalave,
Abstain.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Madam President, this item carries 4-1, with one abstention carrying for the ayes. Thank you all. Next is item 9, application for the authority to expend. Next is item 10, village clerk's report. I have no report. Madam President, next is item 11, village president report, Secretary Thompson.
Thank you. And Trustee Armour, can you please mute your phone because we're getting feedback from wherever you are. So good evening, everyone. So first I would like to say the Village of Broadview will have its annual parade on Friday. And so if you have not decorated your home, get involved, decorate your home, participate in the Broadview Park District Deck Your Home contest. And they have a first, second, and third place winner for the best decorative home. They are asking every home that's going to participate before December 9th, but the last day to submit for the contest is December 15th. You must be a Broadview resident to enter, and you must include your name, photos, and phone number and address. Any questions that you may have, call the Park District 708-343-5637. And then the other thing I want to address as it relates to finance and training. So when the questions came in, I asked the director to address those in a public comment because I believe in having transparency and not necessarily having yes people, but if we have transparency and we're able to articulate the questions that we have, especially for our newest trustees, they have an understanding of the questions that's coming in and how we look at tax levies or any financial magnitude as it relates to the Village of Broadview. So it's not that we're looking for yes people, we don't want people to ask their questions, but what we do want is we want you to be educated and informed on decisions that you have to make as it relates to the Village of Broadview. So again, I invite the trustees to meet with the finance team on any financial situation because I know it's new to you as it relates to how we look at the finances, and there's different types of funds that we may have, there's different type of legal things that we have to enter into as it relates to our finances to keep us honest and transparent with the taxpayers' dollars. And just like Trustee Armour said, she's a resident, just know that I'm a resident as well as Trustee Abraham, Trustee Senior, Trustee Chalmalave, and Trustee Miller. We're all residents here and we have the best interests of our own community as it relates to the finances. So I will say that we do practice transparency and honesty. We don't look for anybody to be yes men to us. That includes Trustee Armour. We don't want her to be a yes person to anybody, but we want her to stay true to herself as we all are true to ourselves. So with that being said, I would like to say have a good evening and I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Did you guys hear me?
Second.
Properly motioned by Trustee Armour, seconded by Trustee, it looked like Chalmalave for an adjournment of the meeting. I'll take a roll call. Trustee Abraham,
Yes.
Trustee Senior,
Yes.
Trustee Armour,
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Miller is absent. is hereby adjourned at 8:22 p.m. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
That's it? Hello? It's over?
Good night.
It's
Good
over.
night, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.